Most of us have gotten used to living side by side with dogs.
Sam?
When we take a dog as our pet, we don't think that they could accidentally find an ancient costly treasure during a walk in a park or possibly bring a wounded animal, saving its life. Hi there, Bubble here, and today we're going to talk about the possible things that dogs find. Let's go. An unsuspecting woman was walking her pet in White Beam Woods near Worthing, West Sussex. All of a sudden, the dog scampered away and returned with a soggy jacket. The lady was shocked, but her pet made another dive and brought up a pair of cufflinks. Thinking that there might be a drowned person, she called the police. After the police came, they discovered and retrieved more than 850 items, including earrings, necklaces, brooches, different coins, cufflinks, watches, a huge machete, and even handguns. The woman was lucky that the thieves were away at the moment. It is probable that one of the thieves was fond of owl-based pendants and earrings. Police officers spent weeks painstakingly cleaning the hundreds of objects so they could be identified. Experts believe the findings were stolen by unlucky thieves who were unable to sell them. After thorough studying, the images of the findings have been uploaded to the Sussex Police website in the hopes that the owners would come forward. A lot of the items were engraved, so the owners can easily recognize them. Why the thieves haven't packed the stolen things before hiding them in the bottom is unknown. Carla Portocarrero Razzo and her husband Ariel were terrified when they found something horrifying in their backyard. They had just finished soaking in the jacuzzi when Ariel noticed something that looked like one of the dog's toy ropes. He asked his wife to put it away. The lady was surprised and terrified to discover a poisonous snake in her hand instead of the dog's rubber toy. Screaming loud enough to send the dog tearing back the way it came, Carla dropped the snake and ran away. Fortunately, neither Carla nor the dogs were injured. All this mess was caught by CCTV. Ariel was glad everybody was safe and called the fire department to take care of the snake. After that, the couple was scared to meet snakes in their backyard for a long time, and Carla started walking around with a flashlight. This story made two guys from Wales wealthy people, but others can just vomit. Beachcombers Sean Kane and Ian Foster didn't even expect to become rich when they were walking the dog at the Crixeath Beach. The thing is, the dog was interested in something like brown stones. The guys went closer and discovered that it was whale vomit washed up on the beach. It is known as floating gold because of its high value. This substance is so costly because it is used to manufacture perfume. Ambergris helps to prolong the smell of perfume, but when it is fresh, it smells so badly that all the people around try not to breathe. A sample of the find is today being tested at Bangor University to see if it is the real thing. If the results are positive, these guys might make £500,000. The dog's finding was amazing because it is rarely found on British beaches, usually being washed up in America and Australia. An unbelievable dog's finding in Bangkok will make you sure that a man is the most dangerous creature in the world. You never say that this breed of dog might save a human being in a critical situation. But even in the tiny body of a Thai dog Pao, there was place for real courage. The owner, Gumnerd Thomak, had never thought he would discover a newly born girl in the mouth of his dog at his front door. But that is exactly what he saw. Immediately after that, the man and his niece took the baby girl to the nearest hospital, where doctors took care of her for a long time. Doctors said the child was born prematurely and only weighed 4 pounds and would have died if the dog had not found her. While the police were looking for her irresponsible parents, several couples applied for her adoption. The heroic actions of the dog earned him a reward of a leather collar and a medal from the Fei-Ru District Red Cross. Mr. Gumnerd was given the equivalent of about £200 in cash for his pet's actions. We often hear amazing stories when even animals, which are normally enemies in the wild, can live peacefully in one ecosystem. Sometimes something extraordinary happens, like this accident when 2 puppies fell into a well. This particular story took place in the Indian state of Punjab. 2 small puppies accidentally fell into a well. The pit was very deep for them and they couldn't get out on their own. Their owner was sitting in his living room and after hearing the dogs barking, went outside to find out what happened. Having seen the puppy's mother looking straight into the well, he looked down and noticed the puppies there. The puppies were calmly sitting near the wall, and a king cobra was sitting next to them. However, the snake didn't threaten them in any way. On the contrary, it seemed to be protecting them from the dangerous sides of the well. In the end, the puppies spent a total of 48 hours in the pit. When help finally arrived from the authorities, the cobra crawled to the other side of the well out of the way. The puppies were not injured at all, and the snake was taken to the woods and released. There are a lot of articles about animals' devotion towards their owners. However, the story that happened in Argentina will surprise most of you for sure. Miguel Guzman bought a German Shepherd called Captain as a present for his 13-year-old son Damien. Soon after that, Damien unfortunately died. Having realized what had happened, the dog ran away from home. Soon after that, he was found sleeping near his owner's grave. Since then, Captain regularly pays a visit to his family but comes back to the grave until 6 p.m. and guards the grave till morning. The dog probably hoped that his dead previous owner would come back to life. Has your dog ever found something precious? If so, I am doubting that it was worth millions of dollars. While resting in their backyard, a couple noticed that their dog was digging for something under an old tree. They rushed to see why the dog was so active and didn't believe their eyes. They saw thousands of gold coins buried in the hole. There were 1,400 gold pieces in 8 decaying metal cans dated to the mid to late 1800s, still in nearly mint condition. Probably a stranger buried his coins instead of putting them in a bank. The finders want to remain anonymous for fear treasure hunters will descend on their property. Nowadays, most treasure collectors are hunting for these coins, more often looking at online auctions, because the couple said that 90% of the treasure will be sold on Amazon's collectible site. These gold coins could cost up to $10 million. A husky tracks down hospitalized owner more than 2 miles away to pay a visit. Everybody knows that dogs have got a perfect sense of smell, so they can find the things that they buried a long time ago. Who would ever imagine that they might even be able to find a person 2 miles away? Xander, a 7-year-old husky, was able to track down his owner John Dolan, who had checked in to New York's Good Samaritan Medical Center for a skin condition. Xander cried and sulked for days when his owner went into the hospital. An employee of the hospital came to Dolan and said that the dog was outside the building. Dolan was shocked because he had never taken him to this territory before. It is not understandable how the dog managed to escape from the house. There are 200 to 300 million sense receptors in a dog's nose. We have only 5 million. It's hard to say what brought the dog to Dolan: a perfect sense of smell or his whopping devotion to his owner. Guardian Angel. Sometimes a danger can meet you when you least expect it. It's good to have a fluffy guardian angel ready to help you. When the Foreman family took a golden retriever called Angel from the shelter, they didn't even suspect that they got a real guard. Their 11-year-old boy went outside to bring some wood for the fireplace. He heard a loud barking of his dog nearby and then noticed a huge puma standing close to him. When the puma was approaching the child, the dog threw herself between the boy and the lethal predator. Austin managed to hide in the house, and his mother immediately called the police. Fortunately, there was a constable, Chad Gravel, nearby. He came immediately after the call. All in all, Chad shot the puma, and the dog was taken to the vet hospital. By now, the dog is well and becomes the hero for the local people. A storm saves a baby deer. Speaking of golden retrievers, I want to mention a dog called Storm. In July 2017, he saved a drowning creature, and it was not a person. Mark Freely from New York was taking his golden retriever for a usual walk. All of a sudden, the dog plunged into the water and started swimming forward. At first, Mark didn't understand what had happened and was in despair. But then he noticed something struggling in the water. Storm caught the creature and rushed to the shore. The owner was pleasantly shocked the fawn was saved by his dog. More than likely, something scared the baby deer. He got into the water and couldn't escape, Mark said. When Storm let the animal go, he got up and scurried away, then collapsed because of his tiredness. Storm started walking around it for a couple of minutes, trying to help him stand up. Strong Island Animal Rescue League cared for the baby deer and was released pretty soon after that. And this was the rare case when the storm saved the drowning creature. What unusual dog findings do you know? Tell me about them in the comments below. Don't forget to put your raising finger up and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any new videos. Again, Evergreen Bubble here. See you later.